Hey guys, Brendan here. Welcome back to the, I believe it's episode six of the podcast. So, like I said, I'm Brendan.
Uh, I'm Owen, as always.
Zach.
So, today, our main thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be running through, some updates like we typically do, as well as also talking about the Direct that just came out from Nintendo, as well as this week our review is going to be on the Borderlands movie. So,
You want to start with the
Yeah.
store updates happening and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep store happenings brief. We keep beating a dead horse on the Japanese cards and the new systems.
Yes,
but
they're always
great. That's all.
Yeah, always great.
can we still say that, beating a dead horse without PETA coming after us?
I think you could say
Yes.
beating it up.
Okay, all right, cool.
As the designated vegetarian or whatever.
But I guess but the biggest store happenings, and you guys can vouch, is all the new customers like galore. Like that's the biggest thing, and it's so nice to see, and it's also so nice to see the old customers interacting with new customers, and new customers being so excited. It's just impressive.
There's been a lot of new customers with us getting more into cards, and with us, again, GameStop as always, no longer being around. It is definitely picking up.
Yeah, and I mean, Brendan can vouch too. Just while you were in here setting up for the afternoon, it was new customer,
Oh,
old
yeah.
customer, new customer, old customer.
I know, yeah. A lot of people. We got a lot of new people, but also too a lot of recently I've been seeing a lot more returning customers that used to shop at either the previous location or even the store's original location. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I thought you guys went away. Like I tried to go back and you guys were closed." And and then somebody told me that you were still open. And it's like, "All right, welcome back."
Yeah, that might be a good idea to put a new post of our store where we're located.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to me yesterday. They drove towards the bridge, and then when they were coming back, just by happenstance, we're a big billboard.
Yes,
Heading
yeah.
south essentially, but yeah, it is true. We're gonna skip a topic real quick and go into the next one because realistically, we're talking about new people. We just secured 2 sponsorships, and we're going to be advertising somewhere else as of right now. The 2 sponsorships, I'm sure a lot of people know already. We're doing the spring, I don't know what they call it, the mini retro game con.
It's just spring.
Con.
It's spring
Junior, I think.
edition.
Yeah.
It's spring edition now. They got rid of the junior.
They got rid of the
name,
junior?
right?
Oh, okay.
So at first, when somebody brought up spring retro game con, I thought I was like, oh, so they're doing retro, then they're doing spring, but nope, they just rebranded it.
Yep. So we got that one. I haven't finalized the details for the regular retro game con, but there's a possibility in these 2 no, and I'm not, I'm hopeful. Let's put it that way. That I can give out some tickets to customers. They're allotting me a certain amount. I don't know what that amount is, but if we do, we're going to do something fun for it.
Like a raffle type thing. Probably not a paid one or
No,
anything
we'll
like
give a time period, and I don't know what the tickets entail, but I don't have details on that yet. But we're going to be sponsoring the fall one. We're sponsoring the spring one, and then come July, we're going to try something new. And you know me, I haven't really been a big advertiser for the store, but I feel like we need to do some more. Owen and his brother and Brendan was part of it, and everyone was part of it, filmed a commercial for us. It's one of the first commercials, a good commercial, a great commercial that we have, and we'll have more in the future, of course, but we are going to be putting that in the Tinseltown Theater.
Yep, that would be in July.
I have the dates. I don't know the exact dates, but it will be July. I picked it purposely because there's a lot of movies in July, notably Fantastic Four. I'm sure we'll go see it. But I'm sure with those 3, just for right now, we'll get a ton of new customers.
Yeah, because I think honestly, outside of the Brockport area, then our reach is even smaller. We still have plenty of people in Brockport that are looking for retro games that just don't know we're around. But then even after that, it's a much smaller amount of people that know.
Yeah, and I'm going to be the first to say this is going to sound so terrible, but we're stealing a lot of business from other customers or store, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, like
we're not going to name the stores, but there's a lot of stores that are losing customers just because of same stuff in those stores, whatever it might be.
I also think that a lot of I suggest stores that people should go to check out stuff. I think we get a lot of suggestion. We're then a shared customer base to some amount, and I think that goes both ways.
Okay.
I don't work at the other store, so I couldn't tell you how many
No,
times.
you're right. We do recommend a lot of other stores out there to try, especially for cards. Like, hey, we're not the only card store. We're not a card store. Let's be
we're not
honest
a
here.
card store, yeah.
But no, that's gonna be great. A lot of new customers. I'll be able to run the numbers at the end of the year for how many new customers. But right now, I don't even want to look at that. I'm sure we're gonna get even more customers in the long run because now I have a warehouse update. I don't think we've updated anything besides, hey, they can't see anything. We're in this room.
They're in this room. Yeah.
They were just part of the warehouse, but these guys have been working diligently for the last 2 weeks since the last podcast on getting everything ready. And with the warehouse, our processes are going to be a lot easier. We can go through that once the warehouse is all set up. I don't mind showing the pictures and everything that we have because it's a long time coming, 6 years to get to this, and we're still adapting. But we just ordered shelves, and that was a big bill. They should be here 2 days from now, 3 days, so Wednesday, April 2nd, we'll say.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when the next Switch Direct is, but this time it's going to be for the Switch 2, so I'm actually very excited for that. I know you're not excited for that, but whatever.
No, it'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll have to do something on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's the warehouse update, unless you guys have more to put in for that. I mean, we've just been filling it, realistically, and getting the process set up.
It's all started now for filling it up and everything. It's just that we still need the shelves so we can actually get the games on them so that we can start the process of what we talked about previously where we will have actually all the stock able for us to grab from and check the store and have being able to actually stock the stuff that we don't have in store that we have.
That's confusing.
At the warehouse.
It'll just be easier for us to restock.
There you go.
Yes, because it's at the warehouse and not at the store.
Good.
We'll actually have shelves to grab
Just
from.
because in reality, we can't keep everything at the store. It's impossible. And I don't want to be that store that has
be crowded.
17 copies of Connected Ventures. It's the same game, but
Well,
I'm pretty sure that we have close to that on the back shelf in the store.
probably.
I just took off a big chunk of those the other day where I think now we're down to 5 in store and like a lot more, hundreds.
Give it a couple weeks. Our in-store stock will be back up and ready for going to storage.
Yeah, that will be good because then we can restock a bunch of stuff. And I completely forgot one thing on the sponsorships, and this was last year's news, and we're going to do it this year, so there's an additional one. It's not really a sponsorship. I forgot to bring the Pirate Toy Fund that we did last year.
Oh yeah,
That's right, yeah.
We'll do it again this year. I don't know what we'll do, but last year I think we donated thousands of Legos and a bunch of plushies.
yeah.
I know,
remember the plushies. I wasn't there for it, but I saw the
Yeah, I
picture of
was
you
Yep.
with all of it.
So that'll be another one. Sorry, I detoured from the warehouse update.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more with the warehouse updates.
No.
More's coming for that.
I don't know if you
How-to
seen
videos.
the corner of the. I'm just pointing at a random area. Corner of the warehouse. I started setting up the Flego filming station.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I think I'm going to use that. That's off topic, but use that as our area and desks up there and stuff.
There's the Brendan's Flego things, and then there's going to be how to clean, how to whatever else, mainly how to clean videos coming in the not too distant future. I don't have a precise date on that, but a little bit of like smaller, shorter content coming, not just long podcasts like this.
No, yeah, exactly. It'll be good. We got a lot more. I know we keep saying on every single podcast, but we do. So stay tuned. You guys can lead it off with the direct.
I know it is Brendan's idea to talk about it. It's
Yeah.
mainly the big thing. We'll talk about some of the games too that were either more trailers were revealed or announced. But the big thing was the Switch carts thing.
Yeah, so
The digital
basically
carts?
they announced that they're trying to make your digital games on your Switch systems act more like physical cartridges. So you have to now, when you purchase a digital game from their store, you have the option to load it into your system, and it plays this little animation of the cart going in your Switch. And then, like, with all the digital games that you have, you can, if you're somebody that has, like, multiple Switch consoles or even just a second one, you can choose which digital games you have access to at all times on which systems, as well as the ability to, within a like a Switch family, being able to loan out games for up to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they didn't say anything about, oh, what if you want that game back early, or what if somebody just made you mad so you want to revoke their access. I'm sure they're gonna.
Pretty sure they'll have all the more information on that because they even said that like
it's coming later in April after the Switch 2 Direct, so we'll see like how it actually functions, if it's better or worse than the current system for digital games. But I just think it's kind of like
it's better than their non-system that exists right now.
I guess, yeah.
But
Is real quick, sorry. Is it only digital?
Yeah,
It's
it's
only
only
digital,
for digital.
So-
Yeah, it's to make
okay.
them act more. It's to make your digital games act more like actual Switch cartridges. So when you're looking at them on the home screen, it will always have the icon up, or like the icon, you know, when you put a cartridge
yeah.
in.
I
or
mean,
whatever.
they are always there anyway.
They're always there, but now they're
It's-
all going to have the icon, so it's going to look, to me at least, it's going to look a little weird. But I guess I understand what
It's
they're going
loaded
for.
on your
Yes,
Switch,
it's loaded on
and-
your Switch, and the thing I'm really curious about is that when you're transferring it to a different system, how quickly you're able to download the game.
Oh, I think you're gonna have to have them all already downloaded. You're transferring the license, not the game.
But I'm even saying for like loaning, when you loan the game, if it's now you can just go ahead and you get a notification. and
It's
you
just
start
transferring a
downloading
license.
it.
I'm pretty sure it's just gonna allow you
Yeah.
to then. Well, you maybe they'll do an Xbox thing where you can pre-download something without owning it,
Yeah.
and then get the license to it later, which I do like on Xbox because I'll download my games while I'm at home, or not at home, while I'm at the store, and then I'll get home, put it in my disc, and then it's already ready to go. I imagine that's what it's going to be. Hopefully they have some way of downloading it before you get the license, but
Because some of those
They might
games
not.
are massive on the Switch. So.
I mean, none of them are over like 64 gigabytes, really.
It
so
still
it's
would
not gonna
take
be
time.
anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it definitely can take time. Regardless, I think you're gonna have to download the thing. You're not gonna transfer it from one to the other. It's gonna not be much faster anyway. Realistically,
Probably not.
So
So
realistically, it's just increasing their digital sales. That's all they care about right now.
probably
it's
trying
probably
to make it.
reducing it actually, but like it's making it more friendly for the customer.
Yeah.
Is it-
So that would increase it because if the three of us want to play a game but none of us want to buy it, we're gonna go thirds on it. Buy the game.
Thirds on it.
Fair enough. I'm thinking this is more for people that have families that want to have like two kids. They only want to buy one copy, and then they share it between the two kids, back and forth between two Switches. That's what it's mainly for.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing to do. I think that Xbox and PlayStation do it better than them, with just having the ability to, this is my home console, and then if I'm signed in, I can play my games.
I think
Um,
that's how the Switch does it too. Is you have your designated console and then you just sign in, but obviously you can't be playing it on both systems at the same time.
Right. At least it's something, and I think it will increase digital sales a little bit.
I think maybe people will be less frightened
Mhm.
of digital sales. It's still going to take up storage on your system.
Oh, yeah.
It's still digital, but like I'm not completely anti-digital. I like Game Pass though. That's where I lie in the digital spectrum.
It would be nice if Nintendo had a Game Pass
They-
type thing.
They
but
do with the Nintendo Online, is just their Game Pass for
Well,
retro games.
for
They-
modern games.
They
at
all
least,
want
yeah.
every single company has their own subscription service. That's all they're trying to do. Is
Oh,
have
I
something
know,
that you
yeah.
need to pay into weekly
Yeah, and
or monthly.
I'm gonna give props to the Switch Online. At least it gets people playing games. That's the end goal.
Yes,
It's the older
exactly.
games. It's hurting, not really hurting us, but
No,
people can get those games relatively easy compared to going to get like Tetris on the Game Boy now.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
relatively easy. I just hate that it's a subscription service. I hate
This-
subscription services in
So is
general.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Pass is the only one and Spotify are the only ones I pay for, and that's just because it's easier to do that than to
I
go
would agree.
other ways of getting those things. I don't want to go and find MP3 files of music, and I want to
Oh, that would be such a pain.
I don't want to figure out how to like mod my Xbox and get digital games on there. It's
No.
easy for me to pay them.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if they would go ahead and finally just bring back Virtual Console the way it used to be on the Wii and Wii U, where you could just buy every game you could possibly want. And especially, too, for something like with DS emulation, I think it would work great on the Switch. I've seen people with their modded Switches where you can get, like, I think they are, like, the railings or whatever that you have on the side, and then that way you can play it just like a DS. So
No, that would work well for that way, but they would have to also sell you that add-on. But they've done that for every Switch Online edition thing.
Right, exactly. They've always had some type of add-on, yeah. So it would be nice, especially because in the Switch's system settings, it even has a setting for the touch screen to calibrate or to set it for touch or for stylus, but it doesn't come with a stylus. So I've always found that that's really weird.
I don't use my Switch enough to know that.
Oh, okay.
Mine just sits on a dock right now.
Mine
okay.
plays Mario Party once a year. That's about all I've done. Actually, Tears of the Kingdom I played, but like that's the last thing I played when that came out. I don't know
Hold
when
on,
that came
let
out.
me think. I gotta just see what I played last on the Switch. All right, we're gonna skip me because I don't even remember.
No, fair enough.
Oh, I know what I've been playing a lot of. I play this a lot with Cheyenne. We usually play a little bit before we go to bed. Is Boomerang Fu? That game is awesome.
See, that's one that I have that I can only pull out like New Year's.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And that's why we got it. Is because when we were over for New Year's, we were like, "Oh yeah, I should just buy this just to have that."
No,
that and Streets of Rage 4, and Boomerang 4 are like the two that we go back and forth between all the time. Those are like our favorites to play.
Yeah, I just find always that like I'd rather buy it on my main console. So I just
it's
and
the
my
struggle.
Switch is not my main console, so I'm not going to buy it there.
First world struggles, am I right?
So I only buy Nintendo games on Nintendo hardware. But let's real quick just talk about the games that were announced for Nintendo Direct. Or actually, there's only one announcement. I think everything else was just additional trailers.
No, I think it was a mix.
It was a
I
little
think
bit of both.
Yeah.
So the one Metroid Prime 4, cool seeing another trailer.
Yes, seeing way more gameplay.
Seeing psychic abilities and stuff like that was cool. I still want to play 2 and 3 before I go to do that because
Exactly.
I've only played 1 in Hunters. But it's probably doesn't matter. I'm just a snob and I need to play all my games before I play the 4th one in the series. But no, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be cool. I assume it's gonna be good. We have to wait for it to actually come out.
I mean, I'd hope after over a decade of waiting that it actually turns out good and it's not one of those things of like, oh, we've been waiting forever and then it just ends up.
I mean, yeah, and there's always people that you're not going to please. Like, again, when
Exactly.
Dread came out, which I think Dread's great, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's not Prime 4, so I hate it.
It's such a stupid reason, but oh well.
That was like, it's Dread. It's been like
It's a
teased
new
for,
2D
like,
Metroid. How could
ever.
you not be excited about that?
Yes,
It's-
exactly, right? I love the 2D one slightly more than 3D. I still like both, though. The Nintendo's bastard child of
Pretty much.
of
I mean,
Metroid, because they give you one game every
so
mode.
often, and they're like, take it or leave it.
Yes, we'll give you an amiibo costume in Mario Kart. There you go.
It's either that or we give you a sequel to Prime Federation Force.
Yeah. Federation Force 2,
Oh,
other M2.
yeah. The one I was mainly excited about was the Marvel Cosmic Invasion, especially because that's from the creators of both Streets of Rage 4 and TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which are two of some of my favorite games that come out in the past few years. .mu has been like on fire with pretty much every release. I enjoy their games so much. So I'm very much looking forward to this, and I'm really looking forward to see what the actual full roster of characters is that we get to play, because now that we live in a day and age of where you can just keep adding characters after launch, I would love to be able to see all the Avengers, or at least the core Avengers, the core X-Men, Fantastic Four, and even see some villains in there to be playable. I think they showed off Venom.
Yes, it did look really cool. I didn't know if that was new or not because they didn't really treat it as a big announcement.
Yeah, they saved it for like towards the end, but yeah.
But no, I thought that was neat. It reminded me of the old X-Men like beat 'em up games
Exactly,
that you could go to
yeah.
like Strong Museum, you can play them there, or just on like Genesis or whatever. But no, yeah, that would look cool as long as they release characters either in like a free way would be great, but I doubt it. And as long as they don't charge me like $10 per character.
I think
would
what
love-
it's going to be is it's going to be packs of characters,
Hopefully,
if anything.
if they do something like
Yeah.
that. We're all speculation right now.
Exactly,
Because
because I think they said it's, I think fall or holiday 2025 is the release date, but we'll see if it makes it.
I feel like that one will. It's not a huge project. It's something a little bit smaller. It's not like we're way on Zelda 3 not Zelda 3. Zelda, like the Breath of the Wild, the third one got announced, and then that's coming out this year. I would doubt that. But,
Oh, yeah.
Um.
Oh, what was the other big one? Oh, a sequel to Tomodachi Life.
Yeah. So that one, and then the Rhythm Heaven was another one.
Yes, that was the
I'm
other. Yes, yeah.
Suspicious of, but I'm excited. But Tomodachi Life looked really good. I've wanted to play the original. It's like $80 though, so I just haven't. At least $80. I think it's more.
Yes,
than that
I
now.
think it's around there.
That one looked cool. It seems very silly, and they have the same AI voices, like
It freaks, dude. It's
computer
like
generated voice, not AI.
like that. It sounds like the whole trailer to me, especially at certain parts, it was like a fever dream.
Yeah, I think it was. It kind of always has been with that game. The cool part, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this off as well on the Switch, because they had Street Pass in the old one, and you'd add your friends' Miis, and then they would have their personalities in the game, where you get your friend, and then they'd like do weird crap inside of the game. If they can do that again, that'd be sick.
I have a feeling it'll just be where you both have to be
Your
playing
friend
at the same
requests or
time,
something.
and then you just go ahead and do the local communication thing, and then it does that.
They transfer over, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. Yeah, like you said, it was like a fever dream. But I think that's what they're going for with the whole something dream. What is the name of the game?
I got you.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Thank
Living the
you.
dream.
Yes, there we
And
go.
then they had the section where she's like asleep, and like
and
the giant one
the
comes
giant,
together.
yes.
That was.
And then the
cool.
girl wakes up and like, thank God that was just a dream. And then
And
the
then, like,
other one's walking
yeah.
behind.
No, I thought that was cool.
It looks interesting. I might give it a shot. I mean, I don't know how similar it is. It looks kind of somewhat like Animal Crossing in that same.
It's definitely one of those
realm.
like you play the game for like 30 minutes, check on your guys. Any of those like.
Oh yeah,
Pet
there's a
games?
new Tamagotchi game that just
That
came
too.
out.
I'm
yeah,
not
I know
really
it doesn't
excited
look.
or
I know.
anything
I'm
like
just
that.
saying.
It looked okay. Along with a lot of the other announcements, the only other one was Rhythm Heaven, because I love Rhythm Heaven games.
It looks like it's gonna be fun.
The only weird part, and I don't know if this is just for the trailer or if this is gonna be like the new voice of the game, but whatever weird voice they had like narrating it, I was not a fan of. It didn't sound like a very Rhythm Heaven. I don't know if you ever played one of those.
I've played very little bit of I think the one on the DS.
The girl that like does the voice over for it, like
It was so long ago, so I don't remember.
I'll like sample a little clip and.
But what it does have is lots of funny little rhythm games.
Oh, we're getting copyright strikes
No.
for that.
So that little like that voice, that's the one I'm used to, and then they have this new one that sounds like so monotone, unexcited, like narrating over the thing. And we'll see like if that's like their new voice, and if also it's fine, maybe it's gonna work. But that's the only thing that I was like questioning. Other than that, I'm always excited for more Rhythm Heaven, more games, and more mini games. It's like WarioWare, but
I know.
better. At least in my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all I had to say about Nintendo Direct, really, unless you have more.
Yeah, I think I'm just really excited for the Switch 2 Direct that's coming out in what's
3 days.
today? 3 days.
2 days.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
yeah.
That'll be like a week.
Yeah.
No, it'll be like 3 weeks ago by the time the next podcast comes around. We can talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, I also forgot. High on Life was announced for the Switch.
Oh, High on Life was announced for Switch. Not that like.
I know it's not
Again,
like a
I'm
big
not a
deal,
main
but
Switch person, but
Mhm.
if you are,
yeah,
check it out. It's a good game.
I was on that just popped into my head because I was still thinking
Mhm.
what else was.
And I
announced.
imagine it'll probably come with the DLC since.
Yes, it's already been out for so long.
Yes, I assume
Yeah.
it'll come with. Is it
High on Knife.
High on Knife?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still gotta actually sit down and
play
play
that.
it.
No, I've heard
Actually,
that that's really
might
good.
that might be a good one for a future podcast.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Never
Maybe,
mind.
but
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do we want to get into the main movie Borderlands.
Yeah, real quick though, before we do that, just
Okay, yeah.
one question, one answer from all of us. I know this is like not even on our board over here. No one can see our board, but since we just brought up like the Switch 2, what how do I word this? What you know how like they got the basic Switch and then they got like the Pokemon Switch and the Let's Go Eevee. What would you want the Switch to? Like, do you think they're gonna do Metroid?
I mean,
Like a
they
special
should,
design
They
one?
should,
but
but they're
no.
never. No, it's Metroid. They'll never.
Tamagotchi life.
That is probably going to be the first like big one is
But
Tamagotchi
the
Life.
weird thing is like you couldn't really do that well, in my opinion, because like
Unless you just make it a giant face where like the ears or whatever of the character, the eyes come
I just don't
off,
really
like,
think that
it's-
that would
yeah,
be
no.
easy to pull off. I'm trying to think if there's any like probably Pokemon ZA one.
Yes.
Which we did get some more information on that. It looks fine. I might play it. I didn't like Arceus.
Well, let's review that one.
No.
Oh,
Crickets.
I'm okay.
I might play it, but I'm definitely like
Low on the totem pole to play.
it's.
Well, yeah,
I'm
because-
just suspicious of it because I didn't like Arceus. I don't think any. Oh no, you liked Arceus.
I
right?
did like Arceus.
Arceus.
And I feel like it took everything that people liked about that one, and then it's just like we're just gonna not quite do that. Like it takes
yes.
the combat is more similar to that, but the open world is like ruined by all these zones.
Oh, because now it's just one giant city you're exploring. You're not exploring giant open. Like,
also should have been set in the
lands.
past. I don't know
Yes.
why we're set in modern day.
Especially with the title Legends, you'd think it would
Go
be
back.
going back. Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, like we'll see. It should have been, I think, telling the story of what's his name?
Insert
Ed.
name here.
No,
No.
the guy that has the flower.
Flower guy.
Flower guy.
Flower
I can't remember his
guy.
name right now.
And that's where his
but
picture
the
goes.
guy that sacrificed like a. He split the realities into two different realities, where one has megas and one doesn't. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, and that's why the
He's
current
in the
games. Yeah.
He's in the trailer there for 2 seconds, but I feel like the game should have gone back in time to the 1,000 years ago when he was around. He's the guy that set like the big rift, and he used Yveltal to like it's like a nuclear bomb type thing going on. It's all in like the prologue of X and Y, but they should have gone and done that story. I think.
So that's why I didn't exactly know what you're talking about, because I remembered, because I always was wondering why after X and Y they were just like, yeah, Mega Evolutions were done.
Well, I mean, they're
those.
in Sun and Moon, and
Oh, they
then
are? Okay.
Sword was like, we're gonna limit your Pokedex to no national dex, and also take away megas.
But we're gonna make
But
your
we're gonna make
Pokemon
it
giant.
Yes. It's interesting. I might play it. I probably will play it. I don't know if I'll finish it.
Yeah.
And that's about all I know.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. On to Borderlands.
Sadly.
I will start off with saying none of us have beaten any Borderlands here, right?
No.
I've played 1 and 3, and that's the only ones I've touched. I've gotten a decent amount into both. I just don't know them like the back of my hand or anything like that.
I played a lot of Borderlands 2 like years ago,
but
I never beat it. So
with our
I don't
knowledge
really
combined, we
remember
can get the first half of each game.
Right. You mean the first half of the first game?
The first, so the movie is based mostly on the first one and the second one, with 3 not being mattering at all. Like, if you're gonna watch the movie and you want to know all about the universe.
Don't watch the movie first off, but
So, I think you guys clearly hate it more than I do.
wow.
You fell asleep 2 times before you
Okay,
could finish.
So
it.
we'll start with the basic plot synopsis here just for anyone. You have your main character is Lilith, played by Cate Blanchett,
Yep.
who's sent on a mission to retrieve a girl, Tiny Tina, played by the girl from Barbie. I don't remember her name right now.
That's why she looks so familiar. 'Cause
Yeah,
she's
she's
the
the
daughter
daughter in
of
Barbie.
the.
Oh,
Oh,
now
my
that makes
gosh!
sense.
That
Okay.
That's why she looks familiar.
That's why
yeah.
she's familiar. Okay.
Going on a mission to go capture her because she's the daughter of Atlas, the main villain of this. And she goes, tries to get her, finds her, and then they end up becoming friends after a while.
Well, I was gonna
I'm
say.
gonna skip over main
Yeah,
plot
so I was gonna
synopsis so we can get
yeah.
more into
Okay,
detail
alright.
after. Becomes friends with her. Then
Then you got all the
Then you got-
characters coming and joining the party throughout.
Yes,
Yeah.
you got each of the different
Yeah, with
vault hunters, basically, because
Yep.
that's what they are in the game.
Yep.
Roland,
Though they're-
Krieg, Claptrap.
Yes, which is Kevin Hart as Roland. You got Krieg, which is I don't know because they never showed his face.
Well,
really,
because he's just
He's
a
a psycho.
he's a psycho. That's
he's
all
one
he
of the few
is.
characters I enjoyed at least.
Exactly. Yes, I
Um,
enjoyed him a lot.
You got Claptrap, who's
Black.
Jack Black.
Jack Black, who was sent by
Lilith's mom.
Lilith's mom to assist her in this journey. But he says he's from Hyperion. That's all he says for
I
the
mean,
first half
because
of the
they are
movie.
from
They're manufactured by
Yeah.
Hyperion, which is one of the many mega
Atlas's
corporations.
big rival.
Yes, there's a couple different ones. There's Dahl, there's Hyperion, and
Mhm.
then there's Atlas, and then there's more, I think. But those are the main ones for at least the first game and second
Yeah.
game. But then they get together. They're all on their journey to go open the vault, and get the power that's inside. Because apparently only a daughter of Iridian
Yep.
can unlock this. Which Tiny Tina is supposed to be the daughter of Iridia. She's manufactured by the blood of an Iridian. That Atlas had found by the vault, apparently. So he manufactures her, and then she's going off to go do this for some reason. I don't really know why she wants to do this when her dad...
Because she wanted to
Inside.
kill him with every single weapon that was inside of there.
She doesn't really... They just go there, which it seems like they're falling right into his hands. Like,
No,
the
that's
whole time
the
is
whole
like,
point. Is they
Yeah.
know that Atlas knew that they were going to go to the vault
yes.
anyways.
And
so.
then it's just silly. Like, you think you just run away. Like,
Mhm.
far, far away from the main planet Pandora and just leave.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have this. We
We
wouldn't
wouldn't
have this movie.
Yeah.
That would have been too
it-
kind.
So you get Lilith and Tiny Tina and all the Roland, whatever,
The
all
whole
the people
crew.
going through these various things. They get to the vault. Ends up being that Lilith is the daughter of Iridia, which is at least for me was pretty obvious from the start. As soon as she said that I was born on this planet and I hate this world and
Yep.
I'm coming back here after all this time. It's like, so she's the one. It's gonna be the plot twist of that.
Yeah,
I thought that was seen from a mile away that
it
was gonna
it was
happen.
pretty obvious.
And then,
yes.
anyhow, you get to the point where Tiny Tina shows up to the vault, tries to unlock it. Atlas sees that she can't unlock it and is like,
Well, you're
Kill her.
useless.
kill her,
Yeah.
take her
Like-
blood, and we're gonna make
Well, yeah,
another
because you
clone."
also find out that he made like a bunch of other clones, and every single one of them failed. So he would just have them killed, and that's why Tiny Tina was also afraid of him. Was
Yes.
she didn't want to end up like the rest of them. But yeah, then Lilith discovers she's actually the daughter of Iridia, awakens
Yes.
her powers.
Well, she finds that out after she finds out Claptrap was sent by
yes.
her mom, that she's important.
Yep.
And which, as soon as they said, I'm just gonna go with basic plot so we can get more into detail later. I want to finish the story real quick,
Yep.
just the outline for everyone. You get into unlocking that. She gets her powered up by the vault. She basically just beats everyone pretty easily, and then kills Atlas at the end. But, yeah, the movie's fine.
Sure.
Sure. There's a little bit of
it's-
fan service in there.
most of the-
you know.
Fights are very bad.
They're terrible.
Yes.
But I
The one that stands out as good to me.
which
but,
one?
When they're trying to escape the psychos, once they
the
come across
prison
them,
yes,
scene or
okay.
whatever it was?
I think
That-
all of that was
Those
pretty
when they're in the sewers
solid.
and stuff.
Sewers,
Yeah.
Mostly because whenever they're doing hand-to-hand combat, it actually wasn't that bad. The shooting was pretty boring throughout the whole movie.
Yes.
It was like shoot, 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 shoot,
Some of
shoot,
the
shoot,
noises
shoot.
that like the guns were making,
It's
I was
also-
like they sounded terrible. They were really hoping that the star-studded cast would distract you from how bad this movie was.
And that's what I was going to
That's
say.
one
They
of the main-
paid for this.
Main issues with the movie throughout is you have all these people which are talented on their own, and I like them in individual projects,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Barbie with Tiny Tina's actress. You got Kate
Jamie Lee
Blanchett.
Curtis.
You got Jamie Lee Curtis.
That one, that
playing
actually,
Canis.
and honestly, that really, I don't know, for some
I
reason,
don't
that
like
just
her.
did not work for me because
Yeah.
I'm so used to Jamie Lee Curtis being part of my language, being a badass in almost everything she does. So it's just weird to see her like not be.
No, fair enough. I didn't think that was the issue. I thought she was just a boring character.
Oh, she was
Like,
yeah.
and she just wasn't really necessary to the plot. Like,
Well, and also too, when you look at how clearly Lilith is supposed to be much younger than Tannis, like way more than the actual. Like while I was watching the movie, I looked up the real life age gap between Kate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis. It's like 10 years, bro.
yes.
And
Which honestly, I will say, Kate Blanchett pulled off Lilith fairly well. I still didn't like her very much, but I would say that
It's
at least
okay.
aesthetically,
aesthetically, yes,
and like she had some cool stuff, but overall, it was like
the lines I thought were just so
lines
like
are fine. The
I
whole
thought they
script
were,
was just
eh.
fine.
But see, it goes back to what we said a long time ago. These guys have to have passion for the movies.
Mhm.
And
Like
they probably
Sonic and
don't
everything.
know what they probably don't
Right.
even know what Borderlands is.
They
Maybe
just
Jack Black. Jack Black
yeah,
probably
maybe,
would.
but
No, because of his gaming channel that he had.
Yes,
I would say he would.
I would
he was
say
all right.
the
was probably
only
the best part.
people that seemed to have passion were whoever was designing the props.
yes,
Yes.
because they were
Because-
really close to the
Yes.
They
Yep.
really did a good
Mhm.
job. The vehicles,
game.
I thought the
The
vehicles were
I
great.
got
the vehicles were so cool.
The CGI was terrible though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Trying to watch one of those like the chase scene. Like,
Oh,
I
they're
didn't really
awful.
notice anything.
You,
major.
okay, you're gonna have to like try to find. I'll find some pictures or something. Like they are bad.
Well, yeah, especially after
Well,
watching
when
it.
they're floating, mainly Commander Knox, the woman there.
Oh, dude, the
That
green
she
screen
definitely-
was terrible.
she definitely did. She was on a bike in the sky. It's
It's like,
that was
yeah.
questionable. Other than that, I can't think of anything that's.
It was it was
was-
pretty much whenever they got into the vehicles.
Yes.
So long as it was like, because earlier in the movie when Lilith is driving that one vehicle where she's got Claptrap in the back, and it's like a far wide out shot, and you just see a little thing driving because of how far out it is. That doesn't look bad, but the moment it gets up close, you can just tell how bad it is. Or like when Tiny Tina's like hideout gets blown up and they start sliding down, when they have to go from one level down to another,
Yep.
they just move. It's not a natural motion. It's just
fair enough.
down.
I was so just trying to pay attention to the plot.
I tried.
I tried. It's,
I did it successfully, but I will say there's a reason I fell asleep 3 times.
I thought it was 2
um,
times.
2 times, yeah. Yes, 2
2
times.
times,
I mean, I fell asleep also after finishing it.
Okay, so 3 times.
3 times. But I have a couple different like weird qualms with the movie. Not weird, just regular qualms. The Tiny Tina as a character is just absolutely ruined throughout the movie because she's supposed to be like an insane like mental
Just a nutcase.
nutcase,
Yep.
and she's just reduced to
A kid.
I am important.
Yep.
And I like to make bad jokes and blow up stuff.
Yep.
Because none of the jokes land with her, and she's just supposed to be like, she's still ridiculous, but not crazy. Like, I don't know. She's supposed to be like almost like a psycho level of just like
Yeah, that's what
insane.
she's supposed to basically be like in the games. Is just like a psycho, and then in the movie, she's like shown to have all these emotions and seem just like everybody else,
Yes,
and not really like.
and her
any
voice like is one of her major parts. Same thing with Claptrap, but I think Jack Black did a fine job.
I thought he
think,
was one of the better parts of the movie.
I think
honestly.
that the original Claptrap is just way
That would've been
better.
so
I
much
don't
better.
know why you wouldn't have because it's a CG. I think at the end of
You
the
could have
day,
just had the
like-
original actor. But
Is that-
same thing
that-
with Sonic, where they
Yep.
just recast because notoriety.
Yep.
When you could have done that. Same with Mario movie. Although I do think
Oh no, that's the.
I will just say that he's not really a voice actor for the guy. I'm trying to remember his name.
Chris Pratt.
Charles Martinet.
Charles
Oh, there we
Martinet.
go.
He's not really a voice actor in the
Mario.
traditional sense.
But he
where-
does. But he was always. He's been the voice of Mario for.
He
many
could have done
years.
it. I definitely think they should have given him a shot, but they didn't.
But it's because it's not Chris Pratt. But
It's not
whatever.
Chris Pratt.
That's besides the point.
Yes.
This is
Stars
Borderlands.
sell stuff.
Star
Stars
Style
sell
stuff, which is a big issue with this movie, is
Mhm.
you got Roland, who's normally like this pretty jacked dude, and I didn't even recognize it as the same character from the first game.
Oh my
As Kevin
gosh, I
Hart.
completely forgot.
They're both the same person, and actually in the games, apparently Lilith and him have a romantic thing going on. They completely axe
Yeah,
that.
oh, that
Well,
is
I
not
don't
a
think they
thing
would be able to
at
put
all.
that in there.
They're like Kevin Hart and Kate Blanchett. I don't think they have chemistry.
No.
they didn't really interact in the movie.
No,
at
they
all.
really didn't. But they had Commander Knox and then Roland. Oh,
They
they had
were
a thing.
when there's also like no real chemistry to be
No,
had
there
there.
isn't. It's just
The only people that have chemistry throughout it, and it's kind of almost forced. Well, it's Craig with everyone because he's just
Krieg was definitely one of the best characters. A character
He's
like
just
that
fun.
is always fun. Yeah.
yes, because you're fine with it.
Just whatever.
I
You're
mean,
just
the
there.
psychos are always one of the best parts of Borderlands.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
would say
loved
that.
all their little lines that they would have throughout the movie because it's just like the games where let's say the most random stuff or whatever.
Yes,
It's the best.
or they're just insane.
Yes, the way
Um,
that they should be.
Yes, and I thought that they were all decently done. I don't think any of the psycho scenes were solid. It's a little weird that they're working for Atlas or whatever at one point.
I think so. Yeah.
Like early on,
Yeah.
but other than that, they're.
Yeah.
They're good.
It was good.
But Tiny Tina and Lilith have a bit of chemistry.
Forced.
It's definitely forced, and then also I'm just gonna go over their like connection real quick. They're both like daughters of Iridia, essentially. That they don't know that, but like they both have that connection. She gets kind of attached to her because she sees herself in her, where Lilith likes Tiny Tina because she relates to her. But then, because originally Lilith was sent to go capture her, she has the one device that Claptrap repairs at the worst time ever. And she
yeah,
breaks
that's
it in like
right.
the first fight when she's finding Tiny Tina initially, and then tells Claptrap, repair this because I'm gonna need to contact Atlas later. Then randomly into their journey, Claptrap just brings up the device and like, oh, I fixed it finally. Here's the thing. Like 40 minutes into the movie after like that had happened, right after like they're all about to reach the vault and everything. Then she smashes it, and Tiny Tina sees her talking to Atlas for a second,
Yep.
freaks out on her,
He tries to kill her, like,
and blows
straight
up.
away.
And that scene was so fastly paced. She blows it up, and then instantly we're just like, oh no, she's
We're
waking
just
up.
moving on,
We're
yeah.
just moving on to the next thing.
And like we don't get to see anybody else's reaction to her trying to kill Lilith. Like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you trying to kill her? It's just, oh yeah, we're just
Blow
moving
up,
on.
and then now we're still moving on to go to the vault. But that's when Lilith finds Claptrap has the message from her mom. Flashback. Finds out she's the daughter of Iridia, and then goes to save them at the vault. Which one of my big qualms again with once we get to the vault, and we, Tiny Tina tries to open it and she fails, and then Atlas shows up, and then we have all that big scene. Lilith shows up, and we have to have a like quintuple flashback scene of every single time that she did something
Yes.
that was foreshadowing that she was in Daughter of Iridia. We get to see back to back to back to back to
Well,
back.
it's like
You could have just told us I'm a Daughter of Iridia, and like, okay, yeah, we already established that with the scene with Claptrap.
well, like especially even if you've just played a little bit of the Borderlands games, you would know that Lilith has the ability
she's
to
a siren.
teleport. Yeah, she's a siren, so she has the ability to teleport.
Which, they made the sirens into Daughters of Iridia instead of them being their own thing. Like, I don't think the sirens are all related to the Iridians in the game.
I don't know. I
As
never
far as
went
I
that
know.
far with it.
The Iridians were the race that established all the vaults
Yes,
beforehand. The sirens are their own, like, there's like the 10 sirens? Here's the number on screen for you. There's a certain amount of sirens that apparently exist in time at one time, and then when one dies, another gets, like, made.
Oh my gosh, it's just like the Slayer and Buffy the Vampire
It's just like Buffy the
Slayer.
Vampire Slayer,
Wow.
but there's like 10 of them.
Oh, there's 10 of them?
Yes, which is why you get to
Wow.
play throughout like each game a different one.
Yeah.
But so they just made those like the same thing. Also, the whole you need a daughter to open the thing is added in the movie. Because in the game, they just need the 3 pieces of the key.
Keys. That's it.
Yep.
And then they open it after it's 200 years or whatever. Because that's how the game works.
Yeah.
Which is its own thing. The movie diverges vastly from the games and kind of makes one of the best characters in all the games into one of the worst, where they have Handsome Jack from the second game and make him into the lead of Atlas, and then like, they basically take his plot and then make it into the other plot.
Yep.
Like they take details from 2. Like Tiny Tina is a strictly the second game. She's also not that important in the second game, from what I know.
I don't think so. I think she's just a side character. But
She
I
just
think
a person you can interact with.
exactly.
And then
I think
the
it's
DLC.
I was gonna say, and I think the third game is where she might become.
I think
more.
it's just the DLC and then her own game that she got.
I
from
still keep me
Borderlands.
like actually play that because that actually looks like a lot of fun.
Yes, and it's very different. That's it's kind of its own thing. One of the major things from the games that they really botched, I think, is like we were talking about the fight scenes being bad in general. But I'm in particular talking about the guns being very boring. The guns are one of the most interesting parts of Borderlands, where you have so many interesting, weird guns. They're different.
Special
So
abilities.
many different, like, especially the names of the guns are some of the most important parts to them.
But also just like you have different types of damage that do different things and stuff like that. Also, we never saw like many monsters that live in like
I was about to say, I think
you see one.
You see like
A squid thing.
the squid thing, and then there's
It's not
what's
squid.
the like the little guys that you get at the start of like the second one. I think it's like the skags or whatever.
You
Or-
saw them for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and
I
then they
think.
like kill, and then Lilith kills it off like right away or whatever.
You don't get to like see them do anything really.
One thing I will say I did actually like was the merchant guy, the gun merchant.
Marcus.
I thought Marcus. I thought he was probably the best like side character in the whole movie for me. At
Yes,
least.
I think he was interesting. I liked that. Like the
bus.
in the opening of the games, you go through and he's talking about all the Vault Hunters. And he's talking to you because you're a Vault Hunter. And he tells you, what your thing is. He's doing like the prologue to the game without having to force a whole prologue of like what Vault Hunters are. And then he does that to Lilith, even though she's not there to be a Vault Hunter
At first.
at first. Even though they never really become Vault Hunters. They just like they're not looking for the vault like a Vault Hunter would. They're just like there because Tiny Tina tells them, "I want to go there to."
But what
kill
is
people
funny is
or
that
kill
just like
Atlas.
the games, you're the only Lilith is the only one on the bus. Just like how in the games when you come in, you're the only one on the bus.
Yes, I mean you start with the 4 people that you see in the bus, and then you're being dropped off.
That's true. Never
Once
mind.
after you pick your character, you get dropped off
Okay,
as that
never mind.
character.
But yeah, like overall, just the movie itself, I would never care to watch again unless somebody like held a gun to my head.
I would never watch it again. I would definitely agree with that. I'm gonna give it a star rating as I normally do. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars out of 10.
Wow, generous.
Wow, I was gonna just
Because I'm putting it above Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. I think that's
so now
pretty
you're
clear
ranking
that
it compared to other ones.
yes, you have to think about this. It's definitely not worse than that.
It is,
It is not worse than Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Megamind versus Doom Syndicate is
yeah.
bad.
You know what? You're right. I will give you that. At least Borderlands was actually.
I
like,
enjoyed
some
it
moments.
looking at it at least for the most part. Like again, the set designs, the
yes,
stuff
the costume. Yes,
really
it was
good.
good.
I think just the
acting.
it's not really even the acting; it's
No,
the
it's not.
script.
Okay, the script plus the acting.
But it's both.
It's the only one that I think did a bad job of acting is Tiny Tina.
Just her.
Just her, and I think Kevin Hart was just playing Kevin Hart.
That's my biggest
and
thing.
that's why anytime he's in a movie, it's like just expect Kevin Hart.
And-
Don't expect him to actually try. It's like The Rock. It's
Yes.
literally what it is. The Rock and
The
Kevin
Rock
Hart
and
just
Hart,
play
yes.
themselves in every movie they're in.
Everyone else was at least acting as a character. Whether or not that character was the same character from the games,
Questionable.
questionable.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same thing. Maybe they just gave Tiny Tina's direction really poorly, and that's why she was not great. But everyone was like, Craig, he was solid. I think he acted like a psycho, like from the games. I think all the psychos did a good job.
Actually,
of
his
acting
weapon
like
was really sweet. It was like that, like
It was like-
chainsaw, like blade thing, dude.
Yes.
Oh, that
it
was
was
pretty
like a
sweet.
saw blade, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was pretty
attached on,
cool.
like, that was cool. I think Kate Blanchett did a fine job. I don't think she had the best script to deliver lines or anything like that, but I think she felt like a badass. Like
For the most part, it's just
she still has like cool. The way she delivers it is fine. It's the words that she says are.
Oh,
not.
it's a lot of the stuff. It was just like, oh my god, that was so cringy. Like all the one-liners, man. It hurt listening to those.
Yes, I think Tanis, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, is just a weird direction to go with. It.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel right. Didn't feel needed. Mad Moxie was fine. I didn't notice it. She was just there for 2 seconds. Marcus was great.
Yes, Marcus
think
was again. I think
his
he
line
was like
delivery,
one
everything.
of the best side characters.
It also cast just someone that looked right.
Yes, exactly. He looked just like him.
Yes.
So I was like, yes, that was a good casting. And again, I still think Jack Black did a decent job as Claptrap.
I think he did a solid job. I just think, again, the original voice actor would have been cool, but I think he did a good job, and I think he was definitely at least enthusiastic about it. Like, he delivered the lines well, and they modulated it to make it at least sound like a robot.
And I know he still sounded like Claptrap, but you could definitely tell, like, oh yeah, this is Jack Black at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can't wait for later in the year when we review a Minecraft
I
movie.
would like to when that comes out.
I really think we should just watch it just for the sake of watching.
If we watch Borderlands, we're gonna watch.
We
Minecraft.
have to watch the worst movie of the year every year.
The last two major characters that are both terrible, actually, is Atlas is the most boring villain. He's not threatening.
No.
The only minor cool scene is when you first meet him. When he has the digitized.
Switched over to the next one.
Yes, they're in a bar. He's on a guy's face, or I'll start from the beginning here.
Okay, let's go play the whole scene again.
So they're in a bar.
Insert scene.
All these guys walk up to Lilith like they're going to ask her to go on this mission to hunt down Tiny Tina, and Lilith's like, no, and decides to basically just shoot them all right there and then.
Yeah.
Then the remaining two guys, one did she just like kick him or something like that? She just injured like the first guy, the guy who was talking to her initially, and then there's the other guy in the back that looks like Atlas. You think is Atlas? He's saying like, "I'm Atlas. This is
like the typical bad guy thing of sitting,
Giving a
watching from a
monologue.
corner and then
He
you
does
know
a
starts
slow clap,
clapping.
yeah. He walks up and he's like, "I'm Atlas," and then she shoots him. And then he's still talking, head on the ground, but you see it's like a hologram.
Yes, yeah, and it's on the other guy.
Yes. And he's like, "Can you please grab me, guy, and pick me up and put me on so I can, have this conversation?"
Now
And
move
then-
forward.
And then move forward.
Now
yeah.
keep walking while I'm talking.
Yeah, it was a funny scene. It was at least somewhat well done. At least the timing and everything
Yeah.
was decent. But every other moment after that, he's just the most nothing burger of a villain. Of just he's there
just
to
want the
be a
power.
threat. But he's like we didn't see what he was doing between when the heroes were on screen, when all the Vault Hunters were doing their stuff. So we just see him then. We see him when Claptrap prepares the thing for 2 seconds. And then at the very end, final battle, if you can call it even a battle,
It's
Lilith
just
gets
so-
powered up and just kills everyone, basically.
No, she has moments where even when she's powered up, she just bounces off of something. Oh, and then
But
I need
it's just
to be,
for dramatic effect.
It's
And then
so
immediately
stupid.
she gets back up and then kills everyone again. She's
It's-
just overpowered. And I get it because she's, again, a siren and everything. It makes some sense, but it didn't feel earned at all.
no.
And then Commander Knox, who's throughout the movie has a vendetta against Roland.
For betraying the Crimson whatever.
Yeah, the Crimson Whatevers. And it's just fine. Her bangs are the only notable feature of her.
That's me.
It's like the only thing that I really can remember is she had the really hardline bangs and a bob. And then she did nothing throughout the movie except for just command people, go after him.
Chase.
Yeah.
Yes, and ride a motorcycle. That's
I mean, I guess
not
that
there.
means she's a good commander because she just
She commands. Well, also, I do like when she dies because she goes over to, at the final scene, the final battle, she goes over to go to Roland and she's like, I'm going to stick up for you and I'm going
and
to
then
be
just
your side.
gets-
And it gets freaking obliterated by Atlas, who
Yep.
just uses like a space cannon to just like
Killer.
evaporate her. And
Yep.
it's great. I loved that scene. That was her most good scene that she had, really.
I know that was really it, and it's
It's
like
funny. Like
I had a feeling that she was gonna turn though and be like, I want to be I'm a hero now. I'm a good guy, and then just dies.
I'll be honest, I didn't
immediately.
even think of her in like that whole movie. She was so like not important. But yeah, no, I'll give the movie a 3.5. I think it had good design. I just don't think it had a good script, and the the director, I think, and the writers had no idea what they were doing.
No, they were just told by whoever it was that was making the movie, here's approximately $115 million. Now go
$150
make a
million.
Borderlands movie with it. And then they spent like a majority of their budget right on the cast, and then the rest was
I think
whatever they could do.
I think they did a decent job with, again, the designs. I
Yeah,
just
the
think that
characters
they
I thought was all right. Yeah.
they could have done better on having many more weapons, since that's a major part of the game. Having many more weapons to like just see cool things happen with.
The whole point, the game is called a looter shooter for a reason.
Yes, we could have had so much more done
More shooting.
with those.
That's what we need. More shooting.
Well, more
guns.
shooting that was actually well done, because
Yes, I
every
know.
fight scene is just shoot, 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 and then some people are dead, and it's never the heroes. And then
Nobody ever
fight
gets hit.
over.
Nobody ever gets hit once.
Yeah, it's just shoot a lot until everyone's dead, and that's why I think the Psycho fight was the best one, because you had some melee in there,
Yes, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's more interesting, where they have to actually think about how a battle will go back and forth, not just shoot.
I know. Yeah. And then like the other thing too. So I give it I actually was gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think you tie it then with Mega Man rules.
Wait, I do.
I think for your rating.
Oh,
that-
never mind. 3.5.
3.5.
3.5. 3.5. Just for the record. All right, Zach. What are you gonna give it?
I don't know what I gave Megamind.
Hey, I don't know what you gave Mega Man either.
I was gonna give this a 2. I
Two?
honestly just did not
He
like
probably
this
gave
movie.
Megamind a 3.
Probably. It would probably be better. Honestly, sure, the set was great, but the CGI was just absolutely terrible.
I think if you're a fan of the game, you'll enjoy some aspects.
Exactly.
I don't
and
think you need to be a fan to enjoy a movie, though.
No, but I'm saying that
No,
that's
if you're a
strictly that's strictly. Like,
Oh, if you're a fan, you'll like.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the Borderlands games. I haven't played them all to completion or played a lot of it, but
They're fun.
You gotta.
they're
again,
fun. It's mainly again. You're not. I never actually said this, so not again. You're not playing Borderlands for the story.
No, you're just.
No,
playing
it's
it
for the
fun.
gameplay. It's
It's for the
guns,
gameplay. It's for the
baby.
quests. It's for the characters.
Right.
And then the story is
It's there.
there enough. Unless you're playing Tales from Borderlands, and then that's the main focus.
Yeah, actually, and from what I did play, I think I played the first episode of that, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was pretty.
They
neat.
do some good world, but I think also
More Handsome Jack.
one is also the weakest story, which they should have just for the movie stuck to doing 2. Just had Handsome Jack be
That's what I was
the
thinking.
main
Is
villain. That
watch,
should
they're
have
somehow going to be able to like. I was
make a
thinking
second
about this.
one.
I was thinking about this earlier, getting ready for work. Of like, oh yeah, they're going to somehow be able to convince the higher ups. I know this one was bad, but hey, sometimes first is the worst, second is the best.
I don't think they're gonna be able to do that.
No, and
No.
then that's when they would introduce Handsome Jack.
They
That's
should
what
do-
I was thinking.
If they're gonna do something again with a movie or TV show or whatever, do something that isn't something that's already been done. Do a Tales from the Borderlands type thing and make a separate story that's also in the Borderlands world.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
like
Stop
you can do that.
Stop retelling the same stories over and over, or trying to like mix them up a little.
They
bit.
mixed it up. Like I said, like Atlas is inspired by Handsome Jack because one doesn't even have like a corporate like person that's like the main villain. It's just
I think it's just, isn't it just go for the?
it's go for the vault. I think that like Hyperion and Atlas might show up in the final thing to like take the vault out from under you.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But then like the destroyer shows up out of the vault because every time they go to a vault in the games, at least there ends up being some sort of boss fight that ends up happening.
Yeah.
Where it's not just loot; it's like fight the dragon in the second one, or fight the destroyer in the first one, or the warrior or whatever. Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens in Borderlands 4 when that comes out.
Yeah, which that looked interesting at least. I need to just play the original ones first, and then I'll see if I want to spend $70.
Yeah, $70. I mean, I'm just waiting to see whether or not GTA 6 is going to be 70 or $100.
We'll see.
That's a different.
That's a different
conversation.
topic. Oh,
Did you
never
want to
mind.
do final thoughts on Borderlands real quick?
I'm glad we did this one. I know the three of us, even though we operate a game store, we're gamers, did not have any ambition to go see this when it came out.
No. Not at all.
That's a telling tale. Like, even if it's a terrible movie like Minecraft, or might be terrible, you'd still want to go see it.
I don't care if it's just Jack Black just naming random Minecraft
My
stuff.
only thing is,
man.
I don't want to risk giving them enough money by going to see it for them to make more.
I don't think you're. Hold on, let me look at the sign there where it said it only made $33 million. I don't think your $20 bucks would have made
Yeah.
or break
But I'm
it.
just talking about the Minecraft movies. I honestly think a lot of people are going to go see this.
yes.
It's going to be a lot of people going to see it because they
I
know
think
how
they're
bad it's
to
gonna
make
be.
their money back, and I don't like that.
Oh well, who knows? Maybe
Boycott.
they. Yeah.
Boycott Minecraft movie, pirate it. Get the cam.
Whoa! Let's chill with the P word. Let's chill with the P word.
All right, I'm sorry. Go have your friend go see it, and then
Have them record
them
it.
FaceTime it.
Commit a crime. Isn't it a federal crime?
I
Or is
think
it like
is
a
federal
felony
crime
or
something
whatever?
like that. I'm just saying, watch it, but don't pay for it.
Nice.
See, that's where Zach comes in. He buys our tickets. We don't pay anything.
No, that's not how that
No,
works.
that's not how that
It's
works.
expensive.
Okay.
You sneak me into the back of the theater.
You know what?
I'll
We
pay
just-
for a different movie ticket and walk into the Minecraft
I
movie.
still have yet to try that.
Okay. Anyways, legal talk. No, I'm glad we watched it, but ouch.
Yeah, I will say again, yeah, it's not great. If you like the games, I'm sure you've probably already seen it at this point.
Right, they're the $33 million sales.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for giving them money.
It is worth at least checking out the behind the scenes of how they made it, probably.
Yeah.
Because
why
there's
not?
cool set design stuff, and
Sure.
that's it.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched the two. But do you guys watch the
No.
behind the scenes videos at all?
We just
Not-
we
I-
just tried to make sure we watched the
After I
movie.
watched it, I
Yeah,
watched
we.
this. There's,
That's why he
Was
likes
that
the
after
movie.
you? Is that why you woke up, or was that what you watched after you woke up from falling asleep for the third
No,
time?
I just watched that immediately after.
Oh, then you
um,
fell asleep. Okay.
Yeah. I fell asleep about a third in the movie, then a little over halfway, and then
Finished it.
I finished it.
But that was all three of us. We couldn't get through the movie.
well, you watched it 3 times because
I
you just
had
didn't pay
to.
attention.
Wait, you watched
enough.
it 3?
I
I only
had
watched
to.
it once.
No, I had to because it
Wow.
was so bad.
I mean, yeah, I went on my phone during some parts because how
I-
bad it was.
I-
but
We'll never do that. I was laser locked in, which is why I fell asleep.
I'm gonna start texting him when he's watching.
oh,
movies now.
dude, we got to figure out when he's watching. That'd be hilarious.
Anyway,
I'm laser focused, and that's why I fell asleep, because I was laser focused on the lack of plot. Which, okay, one last thing about
Oh,
the
gosh,
the
here we
movie.
go.
Oh my god.
The whole first third, the part I fell asleep first in, it takes until you get to Tiny Tina. Is just like parts that could have been actual interesting points for you to see Lilith trying to find Tiny Tina, or it's made into almost like a montage of just
Oh yeah.
she goes to a thing, she talks to people, she goes to the next thing, she talks to people or whatever. And
But
then,
I've seen a lot of movies do that, so I'm not like
they just don't
too-
do it good.
yeah.
it could have been interesting there. I feel like there's a lot of plot that could have been done there.
I know they could have
it
expanded more
would
on
have
her
been-
journey.
Interesting is, I guess, I just didn't. I found it worse after that.
Mhm.
And I feel like they could have focused more on that, but they didn't. They just like, that's gonna be the 10-minute sequence. We're gonna establish all this stuff, 10 minutes of that, and then you get the big cast of all these different characters. But yeah, her and Claptrap before they meet everyone else, I like that stuff more.
Yeah, I know. I like Claptrap a lot. I mean, how could you hate on him? I mean, we had what was it? We had
The
the remote control
remote control.
Claptrap
It's
here at
just
the store
sad.
for the longest time.
The remote control Claptrap that they made for Borderlands 2.
I think it
3?
was 2.
2?
Yeah. Or no, I
he-
think it was for the Handsome Collection, actually.
Handsome question?
Yes.
That needs a app for your phone to be able
That
to
doesn't
control it, though.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. So you can buy this RC Claptrap that can move around, except for you can't move it around unless you like mod it and know how to do that.
I mean, thankfully, the person that bought it, they were like, "Oh, my brother doesn't care. He just loves Borderlands anything." So I was like,
Mhm.
"All right, cool.
Okay.
Have at it. I'm not gonna not gonna say no."
Yeah, the thing was cool.
It was.
Yeah, a good shelf piece at the very least.
Took up a lot of shelf space, though.
I mean, it was like a life-size Claptrap.
I
It was, like,
know.
huge.
That's actually kind of terrifying to think about now.
yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. It's
It'd be
it's kind
cool.
of scary. robots are going to take over eventually.
One
like
day.
AI,
Once
man.
AI gains consciousness,
I think it
Oh my
already has a
gosh.
few times, and they had to shut it down.
we'll,
so
we'll see.
I
We'll
believe
see.
Google had to shut one down because it gained
There was
consciousness.
ones that were talking to each other not that
Can't
long
Yes,
ago.
and they started to
And they
develop their
made
own
their own
language,
language,
and it's like,
yeah.
okay, no, you're dead.
They cut that one down real quick. We're just waiting for one guy to make an AI and then just release it on the internet.
Oh, it's
Full
gonna become.
access to like current information. That's when we're doomed.
Oh, it's gonna be like it's gonna end up being like Age of Ultron or
Yep.
Skynet, man. We're headed in. There is no good ending to this.
Skynet, though, the thing with that is that was a military thing, and then that's why they had all the the machines. That
Oh,
they
that's
did.
true. Yeah.
We're gonna have more like Age of Ultron, where we'll get like an AI that's just like, I see all the humans, and they need to go, and then that'll be it.
That the solution to peace in our time is just kill
death
it.
in our
Yeah,
Just
death
killing
in
everyone
our
in the
time.
meteorite. Megamind.
Oh my god.
Why do you got to bring Megamind up?
Because all I can think about now with the meteorite falling
Because
is
it's like
just
the same
Megamind.
thing.
I told you it's the same plot.
It is the same. It's not the same plot because it accidentally happens in
same.
Megamind.
Yes, that's true. It does
then
accidentally happen.
It
versus-
doesn't accidentally
Yeah,
happen. It
it's-
was at the
But
beginning.
it's the
not to
fish
kill
drops it.
everybody.
The fish chum.
Yeah, the fish
He-
the fish guys. Yeah.
The fish guy, he accidentally hits the button and it falls.
Oh, accidentally.
Yeah. I mean,
What
he's
else are you
also
gonna
a
do
hero.
with that city? Anyway, I don't want to talk about.
They were gonna rule it. Anyhow.
Yeah.
I think
Don't talk about Matrosity like that.
Matrosity.
Don't diss Matrosity.
I think that's all we really gotta talk about, unless you guys have something else.
No, we'll do another movie. I don't know what you guys want to do.
And, you know, I think that's all we really have to talk about Borderlands and the other stuff that we talked about.
Yeah.
I'll end it. Final thought. No. I got
Oh.
final thoughts first. Then you guys can clap.
Okay.
As always, you know, from the bottom of our hearts, this is going to sound stupid, but we thank everyone that comes to the store. Like, it is a
Yes,
great
thank
pleasure
you.
and honor to serve the community and do better, and all the positive feedback on a
Cheers.
daily basis. Wow, I'm glad we're allowed to drink in
I
here.
know, right?
It might have
As
been,
long as it's not a water bottle, it's not that bad.
as he has a water bottle.
Well, I'm talking about the crunchy ones because last time, I don't know if it is going to be able to be heard in the previous
I
one.
hope so.
But you can hear
That was completely on
And
accident.
I
I
was
swear. I was
listening
not
to
even-
it in post. I'm like, oh no. Oh, what can I do to remove this?
Whoopsie.
We'll see. We'll see if I can.
I can't help it.
Anyways, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the positive support. Thank you for the positive feedback on the store. That's how we're going to end this one.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.